Are you Matthew Aldridge?
I'm the attorney of fact for Matthew Aldridge.
You were what?
The attorney of fact.
Attorney what?
Of fact.
Attorney of fact. And what does that mean?
You know, his authorization to do legal representation.
Are you a licensed attorney?
No, I'm simply an attorney of fact.
Okay. And does that mean you have a power of attorney? What is your name? What is your name?
All right, guys. Today's court hearing is absolutely insane. We've got Matthew Aldridge here. At least that's what the paperwork says. But the guy standing at the podium is pulling the classic "I don't have a name" routine. He's calling himself an attorney of fact, which, by the way, is not even a real legal title. These sovereign citizen types always try to argue that the court has no authority over them. But here's the reality. If you're physically in the court's jurisdiction, the court has power over you. Period. It's that simple. The judge isn't buying this for even a second. And the way he shuts this down at the end? Absolutely brutal. He completely outsmarts this guy.
Yes, sir.
I don't have.
You don't have a name? Pardon?
I'm the attorney of fact for the respondent mayor.
Well, let me explain to you. Only an attorney at law can stand in court and represent a criminal defendant. And to do so otherwise violates the criminal law statutes of the state of Tennessee and could land someone who attempts to represent themselves as an attorney at law in serious trouble. I understand what you're saying. I understand you're saying an attorney in fact. And what I want you to understand is that if you have a power of attorney, then you need to demonstrate that power of attorney. Do you have a legal document called a power of attorney?
No, I do not at this time.
Okay. Then you don't have any authority to act on behalf of Matthew Aldridge in this court. You have no legal authority, nor do you have any authority through a legal document to represent or to act on behalf of Matthew Aldridge.
Why don't the court just let me file this document?
Show it to the bailiff and he'll show it to me.
Have a copy of it.
Oh, apparently there's a copy here.
Now here's where it gets even crazier. The guy claims he's an attorney of fact, and to prove it, he hands the judge a random piece of paper. You didn't see it clearly in the clip because it was a slower moment, but that paper supposedly quoted some made-up law that gives him the right to represent Matthew Aldridge. Let's be clear, real attorneys have to be licensed by the state. They go through law school, pass the bar exam, and follow strict legal procedures. You don't just print out a document at home and declare yourself someone's legal representative. Sovereign citizens love arguing about jurisdiction like it's some magic word that makes them untouchable. Spoiler alert, it doesn't work. Courts rely on established law, not imaginary loopholes. And this judge? He's not entertaining any of it. Honestly, is this sovereign citizen trend getting more common, or am I just seeing way too many of these cases? Let me know what you think in the comments.
Right. Well, I find that Matthew Neal Aldridge has failed to appear personally in this court for the plea day on his case, which is set for trial tomorrow. And as a result, you have no standing, sir, under what I know what you're trying to do is to try to use the sovereign citizen approach to this situation. And I'm simply telling you that you do not have the right to represent Matthew Neal Aldridge. If you are, in fact, Matthew Neal Aldridge, then you need to say so and stop this nonsense, because what you're attempting to do has no legal effect. You cannot challenge the criminal law or the jurisdiction of this court by simply filing some legal mumbo jumbo having to do with civil litigation. That has civil litigation in it. It is not a criminal case that you have cited. So it has no effect on this court regarding the criminal statutes of this court. This court is empowered under the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the state of Tennessee and by the duly elected citizens of Cheatham County to empower and enforce the laws of the state of Tennessee. And that is what I'm going to do regarding Matthew Lynn Aldridge. Mr. Aldridge is set for today to appear in court personally on what we call our last plea day before his trial date tomorrow.
Question. Is that an Article 3 trial?
To what?
Will that be an Article 3 trial? A trial by jury with jury?
It would be a trial by jury, certainly it would be. But I don't know who you are. And I don't think you have any authority if you are not Matthew Lynn Aldridge to appear before this court. And you're wasting valuable time to all of these other citizens who are here today. So when I'm talking, you stop talking. No, you will when I'm finished talking. You are wasting the court's time by doing this, and I'm just simply instructing you that if you are in fact Matthew Lynn Aldridge, then this is your last day to settle your case. The trial date is set for tomorrow, and unfortunately, it will not go forward because of the fact that I have a conflict and I have to be in Stewart County on a civil matter. So we're going to assign a new trial date for Matthew Lynn Aldridge. All right. To Matthew Aldridge and the individual standing before me whose name must not be uttered.
I've got to say, this judge handled the situation like a total professional.
Calm. Direct.
No nonsense. This guy barely had time to push his attorney of fact argument before the judge dismantled it piece by piece. It almost felt like the judge has seen this exact stunt 100 times before. And when the guy started quoting his imaginary laws, that's when you could tell the judge was done. I actually laughed when the judge said he couldn't even utter his own name. You don't usually see judges show that kind of reaction. They're typically very stoic, so that moment stood out. From the start, it was obvious this judge wasn't going to waste a single second on this courtroom circus. At the end of the day, it just shows how pointless these tactics really are.
We'll set a July 15th trial date for Mr. Aldridge. Whatever this document is that you have filed is in fact invalid because it does not cite any valid criminal statute, and therefore I'm denying whatever that might be in the way of a motion. The trial date will be July 15th. The last day for Mr. Aldridge to enter a plea or go to trial will be July the 8th. July the 8th. Now, we're going to give you a card. If you are in fact Matthew Aldridge and you're just playing games with the court regarding this nonsense that you filed, then you may get this card and you may go on about your business. If you are not Matthew Aldridge, then I would suggest to you, you relay to Mr. Aldridge that he must appear on July the 8th, or a bond revocation will take place, and his case will be will take place with him in jail, incarcerated on the 15th. That's the judgment of the court.
Sovereign citizens are truly on another level. These are people who believe they can simply opt out of the legal system by claiming they don't recognize government authority. They'll throw around terms like common law or the UCC, the Uniform Commercial Code, but they completely misunderstand how those laws actually work. For the record, courts operate under federal, state, and local laws that are backed by the Constitution and have existed for centuries. There's no secret loophole where you can just decide the rules don't apply to you. Yet they continue to flood courtrooms with bizarre arguments, wasting everyone's time, and usually walking away with a criminal record instead. Legally speaking, their entire defense collapses because of one key concept: jurisdiction. Courts have jurisdiction over anyone within their geographic area. It doesn't matter what legal theories you claim. That stuff might sound clever in online echo chambers, but judges have seen it all before. And they shut it down immediately. And for anyone thinking about trying this to avoid taxes or dismiss a speeding ticket, not only will it fail, but it can actually lead to heavier penalties for wasting the court's time. I honestly don't understand why people keep trying this. Do they think they're outsmarting the system? Or is it just some extreme form of rebellion? Either way, it's ridiculous and honestly kind of sad. They're not fighting the system. They're just embarrassing themselves. Anyway, guys, that wraps up today's breakdown. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on sovereign citizens in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.